yo, what up, good morning, GMD, Tuesday, oh baby, Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, look at that, another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house and a special guest right off the bat, Tyler Mando, ICO Beast. What's up, y'all? Good morning. How y'all doing today?
I didn't even see him in here. Wow. Gracing us with his presence. Amazing.
Right? We have like CT royalty in the house right now.
Yeah. Y'all are too much. I'm thrilled to be here. Really appreciate the invite. And also the intro music. I haven't heard it in a while. I forgot how much of a banger it is.
Dude, it's good. I gotta say, one thing I'm proud of on this show is all the jingles and the songs and all that. J6C6, someone who hasn't missed a single show, has been making him first. By the way, remember last week, guys, I was complaining I never had a jingle in 4 years hosting this? He actually DM'd me one. So, dude, I'm gonna have to debut at some point. Maybe sometimes when I have a hot take, I'll just like, you know, when you like laugh at your own jokes, I'll just like start
the self jingle, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I deserve a jingle for this take.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I deserve, like, yeah, exactly. Like, giving myself, like, the Obama meme here, like, and giving himself a medal. That. Anyways, Mando, how you doing today?
Fantastic, as always. Life is good.
It's beautiful, huh? It's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. Tyler, how you doing?
I'm good. Abstract Tuesdays. We're really making this happen. 3 weeks in a row. Excited to lean into it. Hyped to have ICO on. Feeling good.
It's true. It is Abstract Tuesday. We got the whole thing going on MYRIAD as well for Abstract. So there's a lot going on. Anyways, today on the show, listen, no different show. ICOB's clear to schedule. I'm sorry if you're the person he canceled his meeting for to come on the show. But, you know, he can't clear his schedule to be here for the hour. So we'll talk markets as usual, but, you know, we'll have ICO Beast chime in with us. We'll do markets. You know, still a little bit of red, but a little bit of bounce. So maybe there is hope after all. Let's do markets. Let's do, you know, Tyler's top 100, but I'm sure we're, you know, chime in here. We've got a lot of stuff to cover with Beast. And then we will, of course, as usual, give money away at the end of the show thanks to YEET. So make sure you sign up, yeet.com. Code is FOMO hour. Looks like we just made it through the next build for big moments.
We made it through.
Yeah.
We made it through, guys.
Okay.
It's us against Wizard of Soho. Should we bring it up? Built for big moments?
Yeah. Let me bring it up quickly.
So we were in the lead, but you never know with him, man.
So wait, this is quarterfinals. So we made it.
So they got to the semis.
So Jay Colby, just so you know, your YEET sponsorship's officially been anyways, the term cut.
Removed. It's actually pretty even if you go down then.
Whoa.
We're half of him.
Yeah, he's I mean, look, the top of the leader, the top of the board here is kind of easy. Like this, like,
yeah, it's gonna be the final is gonna be a walk away. But Mire's like
actually
this like wild Mexican streamer that we have.
I saw him.
Yeah, he like screams at the top of his voice, and I don't know what he's saying half the time, but he brings the fucking. He's like the Baroque in Mexico.
And he's got the hair too, and the glasses.
He loves it, man. They were like originally he wasn't that big a. Well, I didn't know, but like he was when they first came in, he was like, oh, you know, this would be. He's good to get started in Mexico, and he's just done like 10x what we thought he was going to.
Jesus,
he's just
that's really good. I saw the clip. Yeah, it was really good. Saw the clip. So, anyways, make sure you use our code because we're giving all the money back to you guys. Anyways, just to remember, we are live on kick.com/Degenz live. I've just posted it now. There you go. It's been posted. So make sure you do it because if you want to win the money, usually we give it to people who are listening, viewing us live on video. And then last but not least, this show wouldn't be possible without our partners. Shout out to WalletConnect. WalletConnect is a connectivity network shaping the future of on-chain UX. If you've connected to Web3 app, you've seen WalletConnect, that blue logo. It's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto is recognizable as Visa. Check out. Want to learn more? Follow WalletConnect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. But also Kraken Pro. With Kraken Pro, you get full control over your layout. Drag and drop any module. Customize it all. It's clean. It's smooth. And built for real traders like Mando and Beast. And maybe Tyler, but not me. If you trade crypto, check out pro.kraken.com. Trade without trade-offs. Mando, let's go to you. Who is the man, macro daddy of the land?
Can you dig it?
GM, everyone.
Come on.
So yeah, a kind of a week that we've, or a day at least, that we've gone sideways-ish. I would say slightly lower, maybe like a 1% lower across some of the majors. Macro, there's not really a picture here to tell you why we're selling off. Stocks are basically unchanged as they have been since Friday. People are saying, oh, it's ahead of Jackson Hole, all this sort of stuff. And I think that's just a narrative following price. My honest view is just that crypto got a little bit over levered. It's a quiet period in terms of volume, and you can smash things around a little bit during this period. And that's kind of what we've seen. There is some worry a little bit about the DATs, like maybe that trade is starting to slow down at least. And you can kind of see that, like most of these are not, I don't think there's any DAT now trading at like 2x its Treasury. And that's like most of them trade like between 1.2 to 1.4 to 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets you a better sense of where we are. So this whole trade where you like create equity value but by buying these things, I think is slowing down. And that's probably slowing down the bid for them. I think that maybe affects the most is probably ETH, because that's still got like this massive shelf potentially that was going to buy like 25 to 30 billion. But it does affect some of the other altcoins as well. And I guess it does affect Bitcoin to an extent. I think the move by MicroStrategy yesterday wasn't necessarily taken that positively. I don't really know why they decided to do it, but they did. And just that trade is slightly slowing down. But there's nothing that tells me, oh, we're like the market's horrific in terms of macro. So that just feels more like a technical sell-off where maybe some of these buyers are no longer there waiting in the wing. The stuff that I like is the same as I liked yesterday. So I like Bitcoin. I like ETH as it goes lower from here. I do think it will bounce pretty aggressively at 4K and continue an uptrend. And I bought a bit of Link, like I said yesterday, for a Moonboy trade. And everything else I'm not super constructive on. I do think that hype looks okay. I've nibbled a little bit on that over the last 24 hours. This is just in terms of majors, but yeah, I actually kind of agree with that. Yeah. I think it's likely that we kind of bounce around this $4,000 level. And the timeline will say it's completely over, as it always does when that happens. But there's nothing that really tells me that. So I think we're fine.
Yeah. I saw Tyler, you were about to send me the same tweet. I think this one's gone around the most or this morning. Tom Lee here. His quant, Mark Newton, seems to be calling for pullback to 4,075, 4,150. Kind of align with what you were talking about yesterday, Mando, with like trying that bouncing off that last high before making another run. Beast, I'm curious for you. I think you've talked about it. I think you're pretty heavy. You're pretty heavy on the ETH side for the last few weeks, months. What's your thoughts on the Treasury trades here?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty heavy on ETH for I guess 7 years now. It's probably an unhealthy relationship, so I've got somewhat of a Stockholm syndrome. But no, I think the DAT trade it makes sense to me. I think that Tom Lee's a visionary. He sees that ETH and Bitcoin are kind of the two assets that really have the infinite institutional bid. You got BlackRock buying, you've got opening up 401ks, you've got these things and all these asset vehicles that are programmed up into the right forever. Just look at the stock market and the rest of the 401k stuff. And so I think short term, yeah, there's a little bit of noise. Maybe things drop a little bit, maybe they bounce around. But like we're going to look back at this in a year or two and be like, wow, we really had a great entry on these assets.
Yeah, I don't disagree definitely on that front. Tyler, you sent me this. I know you want to go into the major a little bit. Like, what is your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think just in general, when the guy buying $1.5 billion per week tells us what he thinks is going to happen, we should pay attention.
That's true.
And when he says pullbacks are healthy,
Probably.
I think he said dips are shallow last month, right? Like when we got the one dip, and then of course we just rampaged up to near all-time highs. So I'm paying close attention. whenever Tom Lee is putting out these price targets. And I think if we get these numbers Wednesday, Thursday, it's a very interesting position to
be clear, if we get down there, I'll be buying a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'll be going straight back in.
Wait, into what? If you get what? Like that price?
Yeah, if we hit like 4K area, I'll be buying for sure.
Yeah.
I that's what I felt it was. Why I moved more back into Bitcoin. It just felt like we were just due a little bit of a correction in the market. And I'll look at the other stuff that like dies on that day as well, and or like maybe it doesn't even die. Maybe the stronger stuff on that day. And buy that as well.
I do think what's notable, it feels like SharpLink might be like starting to run out of ammo a little bit. And like, I don't want to like running out of ammo compared to how much they've had over the past month, 6 weeks, where they've just been buying and accumulating at an incredibly rapid pace. But I think they've got 80 million cash on hand right now, which is effectively the lowest they've had on these Tuesday updates, I want to say, in a while. They're only trading at 1.1x MNAV, 1.1, 1.2. So they don't have quite as much wiggle room to hit the ATM right now either. So I feel like they are probably going to slow down a little bit unless they kind of come out with some new mechanics or financial engineering tactics for how they're going to race to buy.
They can all slow down, if I'm honest. Like we spoke about this before, but do you remember when Saylor put out the $20 billion, $25 billion shelf? And we were like, well, it's a shelf. A shelf doesn't mean you're actually, that is a expectation that you will buy. You're letting the market know that you will buy. Everyone was like, oh, there's 25 billion to buy, but that's a shelf. If the market turns and these DAT companies don't execute by then, that is just like we would have bought. And they may never happen, you know? So Bitmine seems the most aggressive. And for some reason, there is a reward over Tom Lee, I would guess, over just as a spokesperson for them. He seems like he's taking the Saylor mantle for ETH.
Yeah.
Away from Joe Lubin here. But I think if a couple of these start turning sour, you know, these companies can trade at a discount. This is something that I just think everyone has to get in their head. It's in the past, many of the, like even MicroStrategy traded at a massive discount. And companies that have done this in the past, by nature, often do trade at a discount. Like that is something that they, like these sort of treasury style vehicles for other commodities, they have in the past often traded at a discount. So the idea that they would constantly trade at a premium is definitely not in stone. Don't think that that's just like, oh, they'll definitely hold up at 1. They may not. Like SharpLink could go easily below 1. And if that were to happen, I think it would probably suddenly people would be like, oh my God, I didn't realize.
That, and people will be calling for the end of the debt trade already.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of consequences.
Yeah. Crypto guy, I put out that tweet before. It's like, I think they're operating exactly as they said they would.
What do we
didn't
read. I mean, I still think it's better holding ETH. And Tyler, I definitely want to go to your top picks in a second here. I'm curious what chat thinks here. All three of you guys, Mendo, Tyler, and Beast, about the latest, person to enter the arena when it comes to treasury companies, with Chamath announcing a DeFi SPAC yesterday. I think everybody here is familiar with Chamath. I mean, Beast, I'll go to you first. You're our guest. I mean, what is your thoughts on that?
Man, I still have some equity positions from the last time we ran SPAC playbooks. I think like BarkBox and some of these other stocks that just got obliterated. So I would say that Chamath running it back on SPACs is maybe not the most exciting thing for me. I do think though that like structurally things are just a little bit different. They were 4 or 5 years ago. There's a lot more inflation in the system than anybody's willing to admit. And so I think that at least the good assets in crypto are going to be fine in the long run. The money that's in the system has to go somewhere if it doesn't want to erode its buying power. And I think that we all kind of agree that these are good assets. I do think it's hilarious that No Crying in the Casino was included in the offering.
I didn't realize until now.
Yeah, it's just a wild time to be alive.
Yeah, what is happening? Like, this is absolutely like cinema. What's brutal to me is like these are also like probably the 4 most interesting pillars for me too. So I feel like he kind of nailed it. I don't know which the specific companies he's talking about, but it's defense, DeFi, energy, and AI. I mean, yeah. Like, those are the 4 interesting sectors.
I did that was what I did my meme of the day about.
I saw your meme. I didn't do that. Like, I'm just finding this out now. Like, I did not know the Crying the Casino line. That's a banger. Everyone who TGs now needs to have a No Crying the Casino clause inside of their paperwork. This is absolutely incredible. Anyways, so look on the majors here, ETH 4250. Bitcoin's like around, hovering around 115. So that's where we're at on that front, etc. I think it's like we're just stalling Jackson Hole, all that good stuff. If not, just check him out on his feed. He's been tweeting a lot about the markets. And if you see Ethereum at 4,000, I think we all agree that you should go into this. So Tyler, let's go to you now. See your topics and have a little conversation with Beast.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on FOMO hour cause the kids can't miss.
Bring it back to Bears. Yeah, folks, crypto majors are red here on the day. Bitcoin down 1%, 114.6. ETH down 1.5%, 42.50. So about even, 181. Interestingly, on Solana, I missed this. They did a test over the weekend, hit 100,000 TPS very briefly. So a big number there ahead of some upgrades coming later in Q4. We just talked about Chamath is launching a $250 million SPAC, including DeFi as one of its 4 pillars. Tether. News this morning, they hired former White House crypto director Bo Hines as an advisor. So this is where he is going next. That was an interesting one. Google upped its stake in Bitcoin miner TeraWulf to 14%, so from 8 to 14. They're going deeper into Bitcoin mining. Cubic, the company that did the 51% attack of Monero, has now turned its focus to Dogecoin after a vote in its Discord. So look out for what their plans are for that. Japan first JPY pegged stablecoins. So they're getting into stables. Then we had Figure Technologies, which is a blockchain-based lending platform. They filed for an IPO with some big backings, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. So that's the latest crypto IPO in the mix. In treasuries, we went over the Tom Lee Bitmine and MicroStrategy news yesterday. Nakamoto, David Bailey's company, they closed on a $200 million convertible note yesterday. So they're going to use those funds to buy Bitcoin. And then SBET has added another 12,000 ETH since Friday. Now holds 740,000, 84 million cash on hand. In token airdrop and protocol news, OpenSea introduced a new feature allowing buying of EVM ETH NFTs via Sol directly in apps. That's a nice little unlock. Heaven was the second largest meme coin launchpad on Solana. Again, $460,000 in revenue compared to pump funds of 1.6 million. So they are increasing their market share. Kaido added Moonbirds to their platform, also a Bybit airdrop to Kaido power users this morning. So go check your wallets over on Kaido. Polymarket launched a new partnership with Ashley St. Clair, powering our new show, Bad Advice. This came out of nowhere. I
didn't see that.
Me last night. And then we had Pirate Nation sunset their original on-chain Pirate Nation game due to lack of an audience. I'm sure we'll talk about that with ICO here in a minute. And then REKT, new mint details are out for that base collab. That's coming tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, $69.69 per case. Rounding this out, AI crypto market was pretty much even. I think the big move in memes overall is this Light ecosystem. Light hit $220 million FTV, up another 50% in a new all-time high overnight. They've now bought back about 2 million of their own tokens.
Damn.
To be where all the action is.
Wow. You in Light, Beast? Because Tyler's all over that. Oh, Mando, you missed yesterday. We were talking about Tyler's bags after you left. And his weekend. Oh, yeah. He gave us the whole thesis on Light and Heaven, all that. He's cooking. I got to give it to him. It's up a lot from yesterday's show. I mean, Beast, have you been into the latest launchpad?
So I fudded Light pretty good at the launch, which in fairness to me, it did go straight to hell after launch. And then at that point, I was like, if this trade, like, it may go back up, it may not. But I was right about it tanking off the launch. I was not right about it skyrocketing 2 days later. So I'm sidelined, but also I didn't lose any money in the pre-sale by then selling my bags at the bottom. So I think it was a W for me just because I didn't lose money.
Yeah, I think I'm actually fortunate that I didn't participate in the ICO because I probably would have gotten shaky. Like it did a full 50% retrace.
It was bad. It was really bad.
So this is the ICO from the other day. God, I had to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it's
it was
cooking,
that
man.
uncapped
Though.
pre-sale.
Yeah, it's doing good. It's 114 mil,
and that's
the chart looks good.
Yeah, so it's 220 million FDB, and the ICO was 22 million. So I think it's 10x.
Look at this.
Is it everyone unlocked?
The ICO people are unlocked. The team is vesting linearly over 2 years. And then what you see there on the page is the flywheel statistics. So they are programmatically and in real time buying back their token, the light token, with 100% of revenue.
Wow.
So
this is good.
It's arguably the strongest flywheel we've seen in the launchpad space. It's
pretty interesting to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say it's pretty interesting to me because this is basically what everybody screamed to Pasternak to do for like 6 months. And then the best he could do was like tweet a picture of a tire. And instead, Light was like, okay, here, we're going to ship in 3 days and just buy back a bunch of tokens and protocol fees. So, I mean, GG to the team.
It's so funny.
Bro, at least Pasternak has a girlfriend. You know?
He'd have more money to bankroll these $40,000 a night hotel stays with her if he just put the flywheel in. Launch coin, I believe that did $70 in revenue yesterday. I think I saw 70. Oof. Not 70,000.
Brutal.
70. The light numbers are big. So I think there was a lot of questions. Opening weekend, they did well. I think there was questions of how they'll sustain. And again, don't want to jump to conclusions. It's only been like 4 or 5 days. But revenue went from 260 to 460 in the past day. So that was a nice little uptick. So if they can keep this revenue going up, the token will continue to grind up with this flywheel in place.
Yeah.
It's dependent on some good memes coming.
Tyler, do you have any insight into how many of the industrial deployers are launching on Light right now? So like if you track Bonk Eco versus Pump Eco, you could see when the Bonk Eco overtook them both in like mind share and market share, because like the top 10 deployers from Pump migrated over to Bonk for like 2 weeks. Do we know if they're currently launching on Light and like that's a driver for this, or do we have insight there?
I don't. That's a good data point to look into. But yeah, I don't have it off the top of my head. I haven't dug in on exactly who's launching.
I have no idea, but I missed this trade, and I know that I posted the video of the show yesterday, and they got a lot of engagement. So there's something going on there. But again, curious to see. It's got to sustain, right? Like these launch pads just come and go. Mando, we went over it yesterday, so we don't have to go too deep. But at least this one kind of has like good branding, and like looks good, and has 100% burn from the revenue. So it's actually really interesting the way they're doing it. 2.3% burnt already, which is very interesting. But anyways, Tyler, give it to you.
Yeah, the only other one, quick announcements, then we'll get to ICO. OpenSea added Solana as effectively you can buy NFTs on ETH via Sol now.
So I was promised this 3,000 years ago.
Well, now it's here. So you can actually do it. But it's a pretty big unlock. I feel like the only one they really don't have yet is Bitcoin. I don't know if they're just choosing not to, because Runes and Ordinal is just not the most exciting NFT eco right now. I was looking at the NFT marketplace numbers yesterday. It is still pretty shocking. Like Blur still has like 40% on the month. So even with effectively an abandoned platform, they're still doing a huge chunk of the volume. I think, which goes to show just how good their product was.
Yeah.
But OpenSea is doing everything right. I think for the most part, they are still grinding up. They're taking the market share back. I think it's looking good ahead of their token. ICO, I feel like you said you're not a big NFT guy, but I'm curious. You will like farm for airdrops, I believe. Have you been farming OpenSea much, or like what are your thoughts about their potential TGE and Q4 maybe? if ever?
Yeah. So you're definitely. I'm not a big NFT guy. I got smoked on a lot of NFTs in 22 and 23. Long story short, I missed the fun part of NFTs and just bought everybody's bags when the party was over. So that I think flavors my view of them. As far as the OpenSea airdrop goes, I think it's going to be pretty good. I haven't been like actively farming it for the XP drops, but I think the people that do are going to be pretty happy. I think old volume drivers and like the old traders are probably not going to be that pumped. But also, I don't really know if OpenSea cares because it's like they want future users and they want to drive like new actual use of the platform. And honestly, a lot of people that were like big power users in the past made a lot of money trading NFTs. So I think they can kind of absolve themselves a little bit and say, hey, you guys made money doing this already. We're using this airdrop as a user acquisition tool, as kind of a pivot, like springboard for the company going forward. So I think it's probably going to cook for people that have been doing the voyages. I think they're like, I've talked with Adam Hollander a little bit, and I think that they're looking at like Sybil filtering and multi accounts in a really smart way. It's always hard to like truly eliminate all of the multi farms, but I do think the more effort and like work you put into doing that correctly or doing that well, it gets a better distribution of tokens, and you end up having a better look after TG. So I think they're looking at all the things in the right way. But again, a lot of it, so much of the airdrops and stuff, it's hard to know because the markets change on a dime. They launch into bullish conditions, things could be awesome. But I mean, if they launch and ETH goes to like $1,000 the next day, then it won't matter. Like they can do everything right and still be at the mercy of the majors.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. They need it needs to come out at a decent time with respect to majors, and I think we also want NFTs on an upswing, which they are on an upswing right now. Like Moonbirds are $15,000. That was a trade.
Man, the Moonbirds comeback is awesome.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Your call was prescient, saying Moonbirds are more likely to go back to all-time high than what Bored Apes and what was
and Azuki. Yeah, I don't think Moonbirds are actually going back to 40 ETH, but I do think they have a better shot at it. I mean, it's a purely a technical like I guess fundamental qualitative value, whatever it is. They have a token incentive and speculation attached. So that's like the two bullish things about NFTs are it being a token voucher or there being like some other unknown thing that people really want. And they've got both of those. So I think that alone has like a bigger springboard or a bigger bounce pad for them to shoot back up, relatively speaking.
I would not predict them going back all-time high in ETH terms, but USD might be live. So USD all-time high is probably like 100K. I don't know if you remember what it was.
No, it was high for sure. No,
you think it was higher than 100K?
Well, maybe not. You're at 100K now.
Well, I'll try to pull it up.
That was like 33 ETH at like 4K ETH almost.
From here.
Yeah, it's got to be like 125, 150. But yeah, you're close enough.
ETH is like 3K around then.
I'm seeing 85K.
Oh, really? That's where I bought, by the way.
April 24th, 2022. So that sounds like that's right about. So ETH had peaked back in November, right? So ETH was kind of on the downhill when we had really blow off NFT season ahead of the other side. So yeah, 85K. So that's a 6x. Yeah, I don't know.
It's within range. Yeah. Still seems crazy, but maybe.
Well, it could do it for like, let's say there's like a token come in and then like it'll like run it there. Now, if it stays there, I don't know, but it could probably run there. I mean, the only one smart enough to buy a Moonbird when Spencer came on the show was Mando. Welcome to another episode of The Rich Get Richer on Rug Radio. I mean,
Mando wins again. We had
him on the show.
Yeah.
Dude, like Tyler, let's line up Spencer. You know, he bought Moonbirds. Probably a good show for FOMO hour. Yeah, sure. Let's get Spencer on. It's 0.6 ETH, 0.7 ETH. And Mando discovers that his investment in OCAP Games means that he also has, he kind of is invested in Moonbirds because they bought it under that company live on air. Doesn't realize it. So it's like a double win here. Turns around, buys one Moonbird for the culture. Love to see that. And there we go. Almost
it's like a 5x.
5x, yeah.
Pretty nice.
It is 5x. It's a clean 5x too. Like you could have done it with Zeiss. Because these NFTs, you could buy like 20, 30, 40 of them and then easily get liquidity for those. So
and ETH is up more, right? So like
ETH is up way more too.
It's like a 5x.
It's a 20x on USD. I'm pretty sure it's like a 10, 15, 20x on USD.
I bought mine for 3K, I think.
Okay.
But I bought it. It's a nice Moonbird. It's got like a nice hat to it, and I bought like a semi-rare one.
Yeah, the art looks even better now, right?
Yeah, a witch's hat I bought. 15K floor on the witch's hat, so 5x.
Oh, witch's hat.
We're talking about trait floors on NFTs, baby. We are so back.
So back.
We are so back.
We're so back.
So it's Abstract Tuesday. We should switch gears a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
You've had some success. I've seen the screenshots. What the hell have you been doing over on Abstract? What have we not been doing?
Yeah, what are you missing?
What have we been missing out on? Because it feels like you're cooking over there.
Yeah, man. So it would be rude and not okay for the company not to say everybody should go try the Abstract Arcade, proof of play. We build fun games for people to play. So go do that, and I will love you forever. And I'll tell you how to make money. So making money on Abstract. Buy interesting meme coins, and then hold them. It's holy smokes. I followed my mentor CZ. He says, if you cannot hold, you will not be rich. And I said, oh, well, maybe I should hold, and then I will get rich. So for me, it was like bridging over like $1,000 or something early on. And I monitor chats, I monitor Twitter, kind of see what my friends are looking at buying, see what's deploying. And Moonshot through Deck Screener is like the token launcher that did a lot of these. And you could see them sitting there on the bonding curves, and people didn't really know how to buy them because you had to attach your AGW through Deck Screener, and then you could ape a little bit of ETH, and the slippage was really terrible. So it was a bad experience, but people weren't doing it. And because it was like friction. And that's like often where you find your biggest upside. So I bought like Chingu, I bought a bunch of these tokens. I mean, like half of them went straight to zero and like never came back. But I was getting in these tokens at like 30, 40, 50K market cap and just sitting on them. And I mean, I held them for three or 4 months, and they went totally parabolic as volume kind of came into the chain. So that's mainly what I did, is bought cheap tokens and then just sat for a couple months. I figured Abstract was going to generate more attention, and over like they explicitly said, we're not optimizing for TVL or like trading volume at the start. We want to get apps here. We want to get people to actually use the stuff on chain. And then we believe that as more people come in, you get a bigger nucleus of players, then you'll start to see more like degen on chain stuff happen. And that's exactly what has happened. Now you've got like experience for holding coins. So there's some reasons to do it. And so my thoughts are, you're probably safe-ish holding some of these coins up until a few weeks before TGE would be my guess. Is people are going to try to optimize and maximize for XP going through that, just because that is a pretty good incentive. And then at some point you'll have to exit, unless you like really want to make the bet that extra last few weeks of XP is going to be worth it for the conversion. And that's where the game theory kind of comes in. But yeah, that's what it is. Buy good coins and hold them.
Yeah, you nailed it. I did 2 things wrong. I bought coins that weren't good, and then I didn't hold them very long. I did, in fact, the opposite.
Didn't listen to CZ.
So yeah, I should have listened to CZ more myself. You mentioned some of the apps. I'm curious, have you been playing around with many apps on apps?
Yeah.
Like what's been interesting?
So I play Proof Play Arcade. I play On-Chain Heroes. I'm a big fan of like idle, semi-idle games, and like my kid loves the music and he likes the duck, and so it's like that's a fun one that I check in with. My heroes are pretty decent. I didn't love how much some of like the playing costs were for this part. Like dying, it costed a lot to revive your heroes, so that kind of slowed down some of my progress. And then I've been playing Gigaverse. I love the fishing mini game in that. Like I don't actually do the dungeons. I just play the fishing mini game because I like fishing. So that's been something I've done. Checked out Myriad Markets, obviously. Shout out to the crew here.
Hell yeah.
And there's some kind of sheep game where you shoot sheep out of a cannon and like they get stabbed or electrocuted, and if they don't, you win some money. So that's cool. But yeah, so I mean, just kind of like trying stuff out. Obviously, I've been using the Moonshot app for buying some memes. There were a couple other launchers that I tried, but it's just kind of a big wave. Oh, next Cambria launched this week. So I was a big Cambria guy back during Blast. They've brought it back now on Abstract, and so that's a great place to go do some duels with your friends, win Excaliburs, like shitpost in the chat. It's a good time, especially for everybody like really enjoyed RuneScape back in the day, because it's extremely nostalgia fueled.
Well, I'm curious. So, do you have more time or less time for playing around, for experimenting ever since you've done the transition into Web 2, Web 3?
Yeah, so I think I have similar time to tinker with apps and things, but I have slightly more time to be aware of things. So I don't get as much time to sit around and like play apps or play games as much as I'd like to. But I do like I have actual like legitimate part of my job time now to at least be aware of new things that are launching, or like at least get the major details and main points of things that are coming out, both so that I can talk about them, but also so that I can like figure out what are the good pieces and what are the not as good pieces for like internal stuff. And we're trying to figure out, hey, what are we going to do next, or how are we going to iterate, and how are we going to make our products better?
Yeah, so let's dig into that a little bit. I'm curious. So, like, what do you do for proof of play? I think it's a big question in general.
Great question. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a work in progress. I'm technically the mindshare lead at Proof of Play, and basically what my job is it's similar to what Brett Guy does at Mega ETH. So it's a combination of being present and visible on the timeline to drive awareness of the company Proof of Play. So for people that haven't heard of us before, we're a gaming studio and an on-chain services development company. So we build tools for companies, for app developers, for users to like build on-chain services into their games. We have a pretty well used random number generator called VRNG. It's a super cheap, super fast solution for getting on-chain verified random numbers into your games. So we have a lot of clients that use that. We're really trying to push hard on Nando to use it in YEET, but I won't dig on that too hard right now. But so that's one of our services. We've got a lot more that we're building and releasing in the near term from the services side of things. And then previously, our major game was Pirate Nation. It's winding down, as we announced yesterday.
Yeah.
But a lot of our games are used specifically to test out the tech that we're releasing. It's kind of we dog food our own stuff by building games to showcase that the tech works, and then provide that tech for other people to use. But so my job is to drive awareness, let people know that we exist. Like we've seen a great inflow of like B2B interest, people wanting to use our services. It's leveraging network and connections that I have to continue building the relationship and the reputation the brand has. There's some internal stuff, so like helping figure out company messaging, helping navigate difficult announcements, as you may have seen in the last 24 hours, kind of helping to tell the story of what we've done, what we're doing currently, and like what the plan is going forward. And so there's been a lot of internal faced work over the last couple of weeks as we've been getting ready to roll out some of the bigger announcements. And then at a startup, you kind of do everything. So there's incentive design, there's game loop feedback, there's analysis of reward systems. And so there's a lot of things internally, especially like with the arcade rollout, where I was helping workshop ideas for what X, Y, or Z should look like on a scoring basis. How do we like determine who's the best at this? How do we determine leaderboards? A lot of those kind of things. So it's a little bit of everything mixed with being kind of like a public cheerleader.
So 2021, they call that a chief of vibes, a director of vibes.
Yeah, it's really very similar to that.
I like that. So what's up with I mean, I don't know if you're happy to talk about this because you mentioned a couple of times like the Pirate Nation news yesterday is kind of like was kind of the state of because I know the team like on Arbitrum, they've been cooking for a while. I tried the game back then at the big conference for gaming in San Francisco. I forgot the name. Sorry. At GCC, CG, like some crazy. Anyways,
GDC, yeah, Game Dev Con.
GEC. There you go. And so. What do you make of that announcement with regards to like the broader Web3 gaming landscape? Like it's almost this cycle's music NFTs, right? Like it's pretty crazy what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a really interesting question, Web3 gaming, because for a long time, everybody's like, oh, well, what players want and what the market wants is interoperability, and like they want to own their assets and be able to use them across like any game and take them with them. And like not realizing that's a very small portion of the user base that wants that. And also like most game developers aren't super willing still to like have their APIs open and like cross game interoperability. It works way better inside like a suite of a company's own games as opposed to across like any game ever. So that's a little bit of a pickle and like trying to figure out what the market actually wants. So for us, Nation was kind of this example or demo of, hey, you can make a fully on-chain game. It's actually possible. And I mean, the contracts are there. So if somebody wanted to deploy this on mainnet, I mean, it would be really expensive to deploy the contracts and to maintain them and like play the game on mainnet. If somebody wanted to do that, they could. And so that was part of it. I mean, Amit has a grand vision that he cast of like why on-chain games matter, and his experience at Farmville with them shutting down the servers. And like people not actually being able to play it was like a tough thing, obviously, for players that put a lot of time into it. So there's that side of it with fully on-chain games that people still could launch these contracts and run them themselves. For us, it was a business decision. It's not private at this point, but like it costs a lot of money to run two chains. We're running two high performance chains to put all of the transactions and everything on chain. And at this point in time, it simply didn't make sense from a business case because the revenue that the game was generating was simply not enough to cover the costs of running the servers. So at a business, especially a startup, you want to run lean, you want to like cut cost centers and focus really hard on what can be a $1 billion vertical as opposed to what might be a break-even vertical a year down the road. And so that's really like at the core of it, that's what it is we have a bunch of ideas that we believe are big winners or could be big winners. And so we're cutting costs on the things that don't appear to be as promising. And we're hard focusing dev time and resources on the things that we do believe have a chance to be disruptive and really make a ton of money for the company and for to make all the holders happy. So that's the crux of it is we believe that we are aligning ourselves with better business verticals. Because at the end of the day, companies, they have to make money. And that's we talk about revenue metas and all that. It's kind of like a meme, but that's how companies actually operate is they have to make money to justify further capital investment, to justify their existence. And that's what we're doing. We're focusing hard on revenue. Like our arcade had a great launch on Abstract. The first 2 weeks, I think we cleared somewhere around 300K in revenue. And so we're like really excited about that. We want to iterate that game, make it better, make it more engaging, make it more rewarding for players. That's something we've heard that players want more of. So they want more clear reward structure, which we shied away from a little bit at the beginning. So we wanted to see if people would just play games for fun, and they will to some extent. We also want to make players feel like honored and respected. So we're looking at ways to make it a little bit more rewarding, or make it more clear, like we want collectible or whatever it's going to be. That we want people to feel like they're getting something alongside the enjoyment of playing. And so by closing down Pirate Nation, we're freeing up a lot of dev resources and funds to throw it at these other ideas that we think can generate a lot more money for the business. Yeah,
that's fair. That's figured it's actually we didn't obviously expect this show was gonna happen today. We asked you last week, but thought you'd go there. It's a good sense somewhere in the space. I kind of want to go into InfoFi quickly. Obviously, we have our top yapper on the show, Tyler. He's been getting his gold medals because we have a thing here, ICO Beast. Like we don't care if you're top 10 for a year straight. It's all about being first. You know, it's all about it's your first. If you're not first, you're last. And Tyler's been getting it. Thanks to Zelensky's suit, got a gold medal on the daily and the weekly. But I want to go there because you tweet about Kaito a ton. And Mando, this morning you kind of got into it too. I saw a tweet you responding to Wale about regarding how now that they've slashed or fixed somewhat or try to fix something. You guys' board is like 30 people and you have 2% you're giving to them, which by the way, alpha right there, that's for sure.
This is the kind of thing that
go for it.
This is doing it right now. It's just that like Kaito have come in and they've been a little bit aggressive, but I don't know if it's even I don't know what the threshold they did, but they came to us and said, look, we want to make these changes. They impacted them across the board. And they've made changes before, and then they did this. And for a project like ours, where, if I'm honest, like quite a lot of CT haven't spoken about YEET. Like it's not like a classic airdrop. There's probably like a core group of people that you would know. And then there's a lot of smaller accounts, let's say, of which the quality of the content varied massively. I actually think now it's like a very interesting time to look at the projects again, because this is across the board for a lot of different projects right now. And suddenly people are giving out decent allocations to a smaller than there ever was before. So if you're an active user of YEET, or which I think there's a lot more users maybe than people tweeting about it, then it suddenly makes these sort of things relatively interesting. So yeah, that's kind of my view. Obviously, people like the bigger accounts, I think, benefit better from this. We also have like a earn program where even if you're just using both, you get 20K. We have a 20K reward pool. But suddenly, I don't know if people have realized that suddenly that's happened, because they were like, oh, it's really terrible for the timeline, all this sort of stuff. And then Kaito have actually made some pretty drastic changes. And then now it's like, well, maybe they have a shot at trying to get back to what they were trying to aim to, which is like not just like promote, I would guess, quality content a bit better.
Yeah, what do you make of that? The latest updates, and what do you think InfoFi is at right now? Because you definitely, that's something you talk about a lot.
That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that InfoFi is probably the most, probably the most interesting new vertical, new shiny toy from the last like 8 months. Launchers like bonding curve launchers and that sort of thing were kind of 2024. I feel like 2025, InfoFi and like the ability to use AI to scrape data and try to like gain valuable insights into influence and motion and all of that. I think that's really interesting. I do think that prior to people realizing how lucrative it could be, it was better because then it was people getting rewarded for just like doing what they do. And it was pretty similar over the last like 4 or 5 months to incentivize testnet airdrop campaigns where people spin up hundreds, thousands of Sybil accounts and just spam the crap out of the network and hope to get an airdrop when the thing launches. And that's what people are doing. Twitter accounts, they're hooking up an LLM to a Twitter account for like a couple cents a day and just spamming useless garbage about every project under the sun. And I mean, you see that too with some of the bigger accounts that don't even run their accounts anymore. They have like an army of tons and tons of interns that are just reply guying to everything or just pumping out generic garbage content. And they're all like just doing it to farm these short-term rewards. I think that the winners in this like InfoFi race or arms race, whatever you call it, are going to be the people that cook their algorithms the right way, that it gets rid of that stuff. So incentives like drive outcomes. If you end up actually rewarding and incentivizing people that are just slopping up the timeline, you're going to get more of that. I don't know how you fix that necessarily. I think it probably has some kind of like proof of humanity gating that is required at the end of the day. So you can't run 30 accounts and prove that you're you and end up collecting like rewards from all that, because in like any system that have incentives, if the rewards outweigh the cost to do it, somebody will exploit it and figure out how to do that. And so there's got to be some kind of gating. I don't know if that means you have like some sort of economic security where you have to stake a certain number of tokens, or if there's some kind of like proof of realness or proof of on-chain history where you have to have like accounts that are a certain age verifiable based on transactions online, where you sign your wallets to prove ownership. I don't know exactly how they do it, and that's quite frankly not my job. That's why they have tokens that are worth billions of dollars. But I think that's what you got to do. I don't think InfoFi is cooked. I don't think it's dead. I actually think it's really interesting. It's probably going to proliferate because in a post AI age, proof of real influence actually matters a lot. So I think that's what I'm looking at, is who is going to win this arms race of making their algorithm good enough to reward real, genuine, honest content and exclude just like copy pasta LM spam that like ultimately, yeah, it may get eyes or may get attention or maybe spoof metrics, but excluding that and rewarding real people that are like making real content, I think that's probably the winner.
Makes sense. I'm curious, maybe specifically, I mean, you are an expert. You are number 3 for all humans on Kaido all time.
Damn.
Behind Ansem and Mert.
Wow.
So like someone's listening and they want to dig in, and Mando just kind of went over this. The YEET leaderboard is effectively refreshed. There's 30 people on it. I feel like the time is ripe for someone who's interested to go make a run at that. What would you tell them to do?
I would say use the platform.
Yes.
Go sign up. I mean, we're on FOMO hour, so go use the FOMO hour code.
Yeah,
Sign up for
there you go.
Try it out and talk about what you did. Like that's ultimately what people want. They want genuine, organic, real content. They want you to talk about what you're doing. They want you to showcase. They want you to bring them along on the journey. Tell them a story. So like, go blow $100 on the platform. Maybe you hit it big and like you have a sweet post like, oh my gosh, I made $10,000. Or maybe you lose it all and like, wow, I thought I was going to win. And then it turns out it's the casino and now I'm crying in the casino. And like that's the thing. Like just go do stuff. Go do stuff and talk about it. Don't just talk about it. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing is they're like these like instant regurgitated billboards that don't actually do anything. They just talk about it. Go do something and then talk about what you experienced. And that's what you should do. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to risk a little bit of capital. And I actually think that's why this is one of the more interesting airdrop spots. Because most farmers or like Kaido yappers or whatever don't really have much disposable capital, it seems. And so if you're looking to make content in an area that doesn't have a lot, and you have the ability to like allocate a couple $1,000s or something to like burn through or play through, you've got an edge there because there are people that like can't compete with you on the genuineness scale.
Yeah,
That's some good advice.
Yeah, and I think Manuel raises a great point, and you're double downing on it right now. Now's the time. Like after these changes, like someone who puts in the work has the opportunity to go do this. But it's going to take work. You're not going to just be able to feed a couple tweets into ChatGPT and get it up on the leaderboard with a handful of prompts. You have to put in the legwork, but the time is there. You made $17,000 this month. Congrats on InfoFi's a good gig. So
it's a good thing, man. Like it's great if you know what you're doing. Like you spend time building up an audience, and like people listen to you talk about things you do. You can just incorporate it in what you talk about. So like the Bybit campaign was really interesting because I'm not really a Bybit power user because I'm in the United States and they don't like us. Well, not they don't like us. They just don't let us on the platform. But like I think that tokenized stocks are interesting, and so it was a way for me to talk about equities and throw in the word Bybit in there because they're the ones that are kind of funding all this development, and talk about that. So throw that in a few posts, make $4,000. Like Polkadot, I love DeFi. I love compounding yield.
Yeah,
It's a great wealth creation tool. Weave that into your content about DeFi, and boom, there you go. Now you're placing on the leaderboard. So it's like that's a very different approach than ChatGPTing 16 threads a day about something you've never actually used. And I think that's really the secret sauce.
I mean, this is a tale as like old as times. Like even my like before like in building social media, everyone's like, oh, how do you grow a platform for? Like, how you get to like millions of followers? I'm like, well, just be authentically yourself. Like just like fucking, like just actually research it and write and make people attracted to like your energy and what you have to say and do. I think we've all done that, like all four of us. This is why we have so many followers on our platform. It's because people want to be tied to like the actual person, not some Chat GPT copy pasta. Like how many influencers you've seen come and go in crypto since 2021, and how many of them are still here? There's not that many. And then you wonder why their products that are launching are the more successful ones, etc. It's just because exactly what he's saying. So you can apply that copy paste that method to InfoFi, and then you got it. Anyways, I know we're on time. ICOBs. Do we have you for like 2 more minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Boom. All right, 2 more minutes. Want to play a little prediction game with you? You did say Myriad Markets. It is abstract August right now on Myriad Markets, and there is a little pudgy up for grabs. So we figured we do tend to do that with our guests. Is why not do a couple predictions? Let's do a few of them. Right. Let's pick a few predictions and see if you know what you're talking about on today's show. It's very simple. If you go to Myriad.markets,
I love this. This is great.
Exactly. Myriad.markets right there. Abstract top trader. The highest P&L percentage wins a little pudgy. Those are worth quite a bit of money. And so let's start with this one. ICOBs. The U.S. price of a dozen eggs above $3.50 in August.
Oh man!
By the end of August.
End of August. Aggregate in the United States, I think probably yes.
Yes. All right. Let's put $10 on that. I'm putting cold hard cash here. All right. And so it's really important that you make sure I don't lose that on there. So there you go. That is done. Let's pick a few fun ones with you guys, Tyler and Mando here.
I think we need to put them on the spot for an ETH prediction and then for a Solana prediction.
There you go. So there you go. I think this is a good one, actually, given that the market's literally flushing as we're on the show right now. So do we think? Hold on. Where is this? Oh, sorry. I did not see the proof. I messaged back. So do we think Ethereum next hit $5,000 or dip to $3,500?
Ooh, I think I'm a believer of 5K before 3,500. The only way that I think this goes wrong is if there's a flash crash, where like there's a major liquidation cascade. I don't think it spends really any meaningful time below 3,500 before it taps 5,000.
So 5K before 3,500. There you have it. That's the trade that we're being given here by COB. So there you go. Let's go on to the next market. What else should we do? You said Ethereum market. What else,
A
Tyler?
Solana one. I know there's a Sol all-time high.
Is there a Sol? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
New Solana all-time high by end of year. Yes or
I'm
no?
slamming no on this hard.
Oh. Okay.
It's gotta get to what, like almost $300?
$294.33.
Yeah, I don't see a world where that happens in the next 4 months.
All right. Well, 64% of people on MYRIAD actually agree with you. So it looks like
Well,
that's
you got to think who like the literal president of the free world launched a token and we couldn't get over $300 when everybody wanted Sol to buy it. Like what is going to drive that demand that's even more interesting for people to buy Sol to buy something else than the Trump meme coin? I don't know. I mean, maybe
he's launching his coin. That's coming back.
Yeah, Yeezy. Oh, I saw that Yeezy
Man,
token thing.
I had a bunch of that at 3 million last night, and I dumped it because I didn't believe it. And then I saw that somebody pumped $800,000 in the chart, but it looks like it's back down to where I like sold.
It's back to
out.
4 million. So unless you sold
Okay.
yeah.
You
All
know,
right, so I got another one. Well, there actually will there be an Ethereum all-time high by the end of 2025?
I think so. This goes hand in hand with the 5K. I think it's gonna happen. Also,
All right,
even
so-
if it doesn't, I'm still holding all my spot bags, so who cares? But
Yeah.
I think it will.
It's funny how Clemente is meant to get a tattoo on his ass at all-time high, and we dumped as soon as we were kissing that high. Let's do. There was a fun one here. Oh, this one could be good. Will Jerome Powell leave the Fed chair in 2025?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any real scenario where he gets fired, and I don't think he leaves voluntarily.
Yeah, that's for sure. But he better fucking cut those rates, y'all. Or too late, Powell. Too late, Powell. And maybe something more fun. Do you see a fun one here, Tyler? That we could maybe more culture oriented.
Good ones.
Appster. He says he's deep in the. It's a points one. Do I have points? Okay, I have points. Appster market cap at the end of August between 30 to 40 mil, over 30 mil, 40 to 50 mil, 50 to 60, or over under 60.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna get hate for this. I'm gonna say less than 30.
All right, so I think it's this
less
one.
than
Right
30.
here.
Yeah, and I think it's between that or the 30 to 40 mil, which obviously everybody else is saying too. I'm curious to see how the memes hold as people speculate on when abstract TG is going to be.
This is true. I put all my points on that. I went all in, and then maybe another USDC market here. I like the USDC ones. I don't fuck points. Let me put some money on this shit. How about this one? This one's already. I mean, end of August. Like we're so close to that already. Like it's really tough, right? Oh, there you go. Will a Pengu ETF? Last one. Will Pengu ETF be approved before October?
So before the end of September. Yeah, that's a no from me. I think we will get a Pengu ETF, or at least it'll be included in one. But a pure Pengu ETF for October seems extremely unlikely.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. It was that simple. And for those of you who are here because you're following ICOBs, just so y'all know, all these predictions that's just made in USDC are on abstracts using MYRIAD markets, but you also get to farm abstract XP. You get a lot of it actually, ICO. You get a lot of XP for using MYRIAD markets USDC. So make sure you guys are predicting. It's all on chain. Beast, thank you so much for spending the hour with us. Was a good one. Appreciate you for coming on, man.
I've had a blast. Really appreciate you guys having me up here.
All right, man. See ya. And for those of you who are waiting for the YEET giveaway, well, the raffle bot thingy kind of broke again. And Degenz tag Degenz in the chat and try to get him on. I would get it going, but we kind of ran over and I felt bad holding Beast longer, so we'll just double it tomorrow. Simple. We'll just do what we always do. Actually, we'll just double it on Friday. And we'll still do one tomorrow. So 1 Wednesday, 1 Thursday, and 2 Friday. But I didn't want to keep it going. We were over time, and I felt bad and didn't want to change the rules on you guys again for second in a row last minute. So let's wait and see how it works tomorrow. If it doesn't work tomorrow, then we'll just do a game again, like a question game, and go from there. But definitely did not want to push it back again. All right, let's see if I make money here. I mean, when Declan came last time on the show, I made some money on my predictions. And for everybody else, hang on to your pennies. It's gonna go down before it goes higher, but we should be fine. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.